1937 को कुरा हो। त्यसबेला अमेरिकामा फ्र्याङ्कलिन रुजवेल्ट राष्ट्रपति थिए। उनी आफै पनि पोलियोबाट ग्रस्त थिए, पोलियोका बिरामी थिए। उनको ढाडभन्दा तलको भाग राम्रोसँग चल्दैन। उनले एउटा राम्रो काम के गरेका थिए भन्दाखेरि उनले पोलियो हस्पिटल एन्ड रिसर्च सेन्टरको स्थापना गरेका थिए। त्यहीसँगै क्रमसँग उनले नेसनल फाउन्डेसन फर इन्फेन्टाइल प्यारालाइसिस भनेर एउटा क्याम्पेन नै सुरु गरिदिएका थिए। र त्यो क्याम्पेन अन्तर्गत हलिउडका सेलिब्रिटीदेखि लिएर त्यो बेलाका सबै सेलिब्रिटीहरू एक ठाउँमा आएर उनीहरूले पोलियोको विरुद्धमा एउटा फाउन्डेसन बनाएर पोलियोको उपचार र त्यसको निदानको लागि के गर्न सकिन्छ त्यसतर्फ लागेका थिए। र त्यो क्याम्पेनको प्रतिफलको रूपमा सबिन एन्ड सार्क पोलियोको विरुद्धमा जुन भ्याक्सिन हुन्छ सबिन एन्ड सार्क त्यो चाहिँ पत्ता लागेको थियो। र त्यो पत्ता लागेको कारणले जुन चाहिँ 1940s को लेट 1940s मा पत्ता लागेको थियो, त्यो कारणले चाहिँ आज पोलियोको एलिमिनेसन भइसकेको छ। जुन पोलियो चाहिँ आज संसारमा छैन, त्यो एउटा राम्रो क्याम्पेनको रूपमा सुरु भएको थियो। र त्यही क्याम्पेनलाई मध्यनजर गर्दै फार्बर एन्ड कोस्टर भन्ने दुईजना साइन्टिस्टहरू छन्, दुईजना मेडिकल प्रोफेसनलहरू थिए। उनीहरूले अब त्यस्तै क्यान्सरमा ल्युकेमिया पनि गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने उनीहरूले अवधारणा राखेका थिए। र त्यही अवधारणा अनुसार होइन उनीहरूले क्याम्पेन फर ल्युकेमिया भनेर राखेको थिए। र त्यो क्याम्पेनलाई उनीहरूलाई एउटा पोस्टर बोय चाहिएको थियो र उनीहरूले एकजना एउटा मास्कटको रूपमा प्रयोग गर्नको लागि एउटा बिरामी अथवा कुनै एउटा बच्चाहरू पाइन्छ कि भनेर उनीहरू खोजी पनि रहेका थिए। त्यसकै फलस्वरूप एकजना बच्चा भेट हुन्छन्, आइनर गुस्टाफ्सन। आइनर गुस्टाफ्सन, a lanky, cherubic, blue-eyed, blonde child. And Gustafsson was quiet and serious, a precociously self-assured boy from New Sweden, Maine. His grandparents were Swedish immigrants and he lived on a potato farm and attended a single-room schoolhouse. In the late summer of 1947, just after blueberry season, he had complained of a gnawing, retching pain in his stomach. Doctors in Lewiston suspected appendicitis, had operated on his appendix, but found the lymphoma instead. Survival rate for the disease were low at 10%. Thinking that chemotherapy had a slight chance to save him, his doctor sent Gustafsson to Farber's care in Boston. र फार्बरको केयरमा चाहिँ बोस्टनमा उक्त बच्चा चाहिँ बसिरहेको हुन्छ। र फार्बर र कोस्टर मिलेर दुईजनाले उक्त बच्चालाई एउटा मास्कटको रूपमा प्रयोग गर्ने र उसलाई चाहिँ प्रचार गर्ने एउटा अभियान चाहिँ सोचिरहेका थिए। त्यही क्रममा on May 22, 1948, on a warm Saturday night in the Northeast, Ralph Edwards, the host of the radio show Truth or Consequences, interrupted his usual broadcast from California and linked to a radio station in Boston. Part of the function of Truth or Consequences, Edwards began, is to bring this old parlor game to people who are unable to come to the show. Tonight, we take you to a little fellow named Jimmy. We are not going to give you his last name because he's just like thousands of other young fellows and girls in private homes and hospitals all over the country. Jimmy is suffering from cancer. He's a swell little guy, and although he cannot figure out why he isn't out with the other kids, he does love his baseball and follows every move of his favorite team, the Boston Braves. Now, by the magic of radio, we are going to span the breadth of the United States and take you right up to the bedside of Jimmy in one of America's great cities, Boston, Massachusetts, and into one of America's great hospitals, the Children's Hospital in Boston, whose staff is doing such an outstanding job of cancer research. Up to now, Jimmy has not heard us. Give us Jimmy, please. Then our crackle of static Jimmy could be heard. Jimmy, hi, Edwards. Hi, Jimmy. This is Ralph Edwards of the Truth or Consequences radio program. I have heard you like baseball. Is that right? Jimmy, yeah, it's my favorite sport. Edwards, it's your favorite sport. Who do you think is going to win the pennant this year? Jimmy, the Boston Braves, I hope. After more banter, Edwards sprung the parlor trick and he had promised. Edwards, have you ever met Phil Massey? Jimmy, no. Phil Massey walking in. Hi Jimmy, my name is Phil Massey. Edwards, what? Who's that Jimmy? Jimmy, Phil Massey. Edwards, and where is he? Jimmy, in my room. Edwards, well, what do you know? Right here in a hospital room, Phil Massey from Berlin, Illinois. Who's the best home run hitter on the team, Jimmy? Jimmy, Jeff Heath entered the room. Edwards, who's that, Jimmy? Jimmy, Jeff Heath. As Jimmy gasped, player after player filed into his room bearing t-shirts, signed baseballs, game tickets and caps. Edie Stanky, Bob Elliott, Al Torgerson, Johnny Sane, Alvin Dark, Jim Russell, Tommy Holmes. A piano was wheeled in. The Braves struck up the song, accompanied by Jimmy, who sang loudly and enthusiastically off key. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers, Jack. I don't care if I never get back. The crowd in Edward's studio cheered, some noting the poignancy of the last line, many nearly moved to tears. At the end of the broadcast, the remote link from Boston was disconnected. Edwards paused and lowered his voice. Now listen, Fox. Jimmy can't hear this, can he? We are not using any photographs of him or using his full name, or he will know about this. Let's make Jimmy and thousands of boys and girls who are suffering from cancer happy by aiding the research to help find a cure for cancer in children. Because by researching children's cancer, we automatically help the adults and stop it at the outset. Now we know that one thing little Jimmy wants most is a television set to watch the baseball game as well as hear them. If you and your friends send in your quarters, dollars, and tens of dollars tonight to Jimmy for the Children's Cancer Research Fund and our $200,000 in contribution to this worthy cause, we'll see to it that Jimmy gets his television set. The adverse broadcast lasted 8 minutes. Jimmy spoke 12 sentences and sang one song. The word swell was used 5 times. Little was said of Jimmy's cancer. It looked unmentionably in the background, the ghost in the hospital room. The public response was staggering. Even before the Braves had left Jimmy's room that evening, donors had begun to line up outside the lobby of the children's hospital. Jimmy's mailbox was inundated with postcards and letters, some of them addressed simply to Jimmy, Boston, Massachusetts. Some sent dollar bills with the letters or wrote checks. Children mailed in pocket money in quarters and dimes. The Braves pitched in with their own contribution. By May 1948, the $20,000 mark set by Coster had long been surpassed. More than 2,31,000 had rolled in. Hundreds of red and white tin cans for donation for the Jimmy Fund were posted outside baseball game. Cans were passed around in film theaters to collect dimes and quarters. Little league players in baseball uniform went door to door with collection cans on sweltering summer nights. Jimmy days were held in the small towns throughout New England. Jimmy promised television, a black and white set with a 12-inch screen set into a wooden box, arrived and was set up on a white bench between hospital beds. In the fast-growing, fast-consuming world of medical research in 1948, the $231,000 raised by the Jimmy Fund was an impressive but still modest sum, enough to build a few floors of new building in Boston. यसरी एउटा क्याम्पेनको रूपमा सुरु भएको एउटा क्याम्पेन, एउटा परियोजना ड्रास्टिकली रेस्पोन्स पाएको थियो र सपोर्ट पाएको थियो। पब्लिक फन्डबाटै चलेर उनीहरूले नयाँ आयाम सेट गरेका थिए। यसबाट के थाहा हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि कसरी एउटा क्याम्पेनले एउटा राम्रोतर्फ, एउटा डेभलपमेन्टतर्फ र प्रोग्रेस मानव विकासको प्रोग्रेसतर्फ हेल्प गर्न सक्छ भन्ने उदाहरण पेश गरेका छौँ।